No, man, but you got to keep going. What am I going to do, quit? That's not an option. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it. You make it work for you. You never give up, man. That's my philosophy.
Hey, gardeners. Hope everybody's having a great week. I am here, still in studio. It's winter time. It's cool, so I'm hanging with houseplants for the most part right now. And we're just checking out, making sure everybody's doing good and watered, and making sure that all of our plants have what they need as we're getting started today. It's kind of something I like to do before shows, kind of walk around, make sure everybody's taken care of, that they don't need anything. But yeah, I've been on a propagation tear, also cutting up and taking cuttings and everything throughout the winter too. So our plant collection is growing and growing. But yeah, everybody, we got a great show for you today. We've got Texas garden guy Destin with us. We've got Spoken Garden join with us here as well too today. Really, really great show. Excited to have all of you here with us for this year. So all right, everybody, let's get growing. All right. It's showtime, all of my garden enthusiasts and passionate plant people. We are here on the Let's Get Growing show here this Saturday on the Urban Gardener channel. I'm Enoch. I'm your host today. We've got an awesome show for you, loaded with lots of great gardening talk and awesome guests coming up here on the show. Just in a little bit, we've got our good friend Destin Noak from Texas Garden Guy and the Garden Party podcast is going to be joining with us just a little bit later for our feature conversation. And in just a few minutes, we've got Sean and Allison coming back to the show from Spoken Garden. It's going to be really awesome to catch up with these folks here on the show here just a little bit. Thank you all so much for being here with me real quick. But let's get this show started off right real quick. Let's click that like button. Let's hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming shows. And definitely share with your friends. Let your friends know all about our fun 3-day gardening weekend here on the Let's Get Growing show here. Yeah, that's 3-day weekend now here in 2026, starting every Saturday and Sunday as usual, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we're back again for the third day to extend out your weekend on that third day. On Monday evening, we've got our new show, The Green Room. The Green Room at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So definitely come and join with us for this new fun show. I'll talk just a little bit more about who we got coming up here just a little bit here on the show as well. Big shout out to Team Replay, all of you who are joining with us on your time. Thank you so much for being here. It's really great to have you joining with us here on the show. And if you can, definitely drop into the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you got growing on. Or just stop by and say hi. I'd love to hear from all of you guys. So definitely do that if you can, if you're joining with us on the replay. And if you're joining with us here live, though, definitely get in on the conversation with us here. Get into our chat. Jump on in there. In fact, we've got our you want to get ready too, because we got our roll call. This is something new right now. We've got our roll call going on where you get to let us know you're here. This is something we're doing now new this year at the beginning of the show. It's kind of basically our little shout out section for our show here where we get a chance to, acknowledge you and let everybody know you're here with us, where you're growing, what you got growing on, all that sort of stuff. So definitely jump into the comments and let us know you're here. We'll give you a shout out here in just a few minutes on our roll call coming up. So definitely do that, as well as questions. You got any questions? You got any questions, comments, or anything like that? Definitely drop them in. We'll be marking those for the conversation and dropping those right on screen here as well too. So definitely drop in with those throughout the show, and definitely questions for our guests coming up too. I love to see questions from the audience. This is that's a great thing about doing shows like this, is that you guys are here with us. Our guests are here with us. We're all here to conversate and hang out together, and you guys can drop in your questions to ask of our guests as well too. So definitely do that too. And follow all the links down in the description below to all of our guests and go give them a shout out. Go check out what they've got growing on their channels. Go subscribe. Go leave them a comment and let them know you saw them here on the Let's Get Growing show. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. It's really, really great to have you all here with us today on the Let's Get Growing show. Like I said, we got a fantastic show coming up for you here today. I've got lots and lots to talk about, especially with some of the new shows and things that we've got going on here. Again, the calendar is filling up greatly right now, so we are in good shape for some great shows coming up here. So lots and lots of really awesome folks getting ready to come and join up with us here again. 3 days now, 3 days right into Monday evening for our new show, The Green Room. This was really exciting. I'm not even kidding. Last Monday was our first show of The Green Room with me and Natalie. Natalie from The Fresh Prince has joined up to be co-host of this great new fun show that we're doing. And we had a great time, Natalie and I, this last Monday. We did kind of a soft launch of the show. It was kind of like just kind of let's get it out there. Let's get going. We have a new segment that we are also going to be introducing with this show called Grow What You Eat. And Grow What You Eat is going to be done by a few different contributors here, folks you get to see in our chat often. And we've got Shawnee from Shawnee Grows, Robin from Robin Gardens, and Katrina from Sow and Tear. Joining up forces to put together this really great segment called Grow What You Eat. So for our soft launch this last Monday, we had Shawnee, Robin, and Katrina with us on for our first guest, kind of to get the show started, to get the feel for everything, and kind of get it out there and let everybody know what we've got growing on for the as we get going through the rest of the year here. And especially with that new segment, Grow What You Eat, it's going to be a great opportunity. There's one thing I didn't notice though too, is the folks who watched the show, at least until the last moment there, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a minute, this just kind of worked out that way. But on Sunday, we've got our other segment, the In the Garden segment. You definitely want to tune in tomorrow. We've got Paul's In the Garden segment coming up there and everything. But now we got In the Garden on Sunday. We've got Grow What You Eat on Monday. And In the Garden, we've got the guys, Guten Gardening, Bowtie Life. We've got my man, Mark Boucher Colbert, who leads it. We got Shawnee Grows, Robin Gardens, and Katrina, the ladies over on Monday night doing Grow What You Eat. So this is really great. It's really fun. Just worked out that way, but really awesome to have them involved and have this whole new show. It's really fun. We got a whole new show coming up this next week. I'll go ahead and shout it out for everybody and let you all know who we got coming up this next Monday, because you're not going to want to miss out, which will be, again, too, we soft launch. We're officially calling this our real first show where, for one, we're going to be throwing Natalie to the fire here for sure when it comes to testing her interviewing skills and all of that. When it comes down to it, we've got Joe Lample from Joe Gardner joining with us, and also from the Emmy Award-winning PBS series called Growing a Greener World. Joe has traveled the states and the world and all of that to interview many awesome gardeners and farmers and all sorts of different people throughout the years on his show. So he's a real professional, interviewer in the gardening community, and so it's gonna be really fun to hang out with Joe for basically our first Green Room show, and just have a really great conversation with him and see how well it goes. I mean, again, our first real test on the Green Room for a really awesome guest. And so definitely tune in. You're not going to want to miss out on that for sure. And so again, too, really great, really awesome. We've got a great start already to the show and everything here. So really great to kick all of this off last week. It was just so much fun to hang out with all of you guys and get this stuff going on around here on the Let's Get Growing show. We had a kind of a bit of a wind down and a different kind of end to our year last year. So it is just really amazing to get off to such a really, really great start here as we're getting going here on 2026. So, again, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating. And I think now it's time for roll call.
My name is Kevin. Yeah. That is my name. Yeah. They call me Kevin. Yeah. Because that's my name. Roll call.
All right, everybody. Here we are again. Roll call is new here this year for us. This is basically the chance we get to shout out every one of you in our audience who are joining with us here at the top of the show. So definitely, if you haven't yet, drop into the comments there real quick. Let us know you're here. Let us know where you're growing from, what you got growing on, and all of that. And we'll feature here on our roll call. We've got, of course, at the top of the show, we definitely got to thank our good friend Jay Dixon joining us from Midwestern Ontario, Canada. Jay is our show facilitator and backstage producer, and she does such an awesome job helping us run the show and the chat. So again, thank you, Jay, for all you do. Great to have you here with us on the show. Also, Robin, I was just mentioning Robin from Robin Gardens, contributor to our Grow What You Eat segment on our new Monday night Green Room show. So again, thank you, Robin. Thank you for being here. Joining us from Chicagoland. She says a balmy 7 degrees Fahrenheit. She says we're out of the negatives for the moment. Overcast, warmer with the cloud cover. Yeah, that was one thing too, is that I used to live in Alaska back in my high school days and all that sort of stuff. And that was one of the kind of the crazy, strange things about like wintertime is you would have these, big, beautiful, blue sky days and everything. And they were the coldest, sharpest days of the winter. And then the cloud would come over, it'd be gray and balmy and all that, but at least it was warm. It was, or warmer, if you will. So yeah, definitely great to see that it's warming up for you all over there a little bit anyways. Those negatives are just brutal. We got David from Bowtie Life in here, Triple G Gardens, Global Gardeners. All right. That's right, David. Here we go. Right on. He says, recovered after 4 to 6 hours of intense surgery from more talented computer nerds. Okay, I might need a little more clarification there. I don't know. Got our other moderator, Adam Burley, joining with us in the conversation too. Excellent. He says he's listening while playing Mr. Plumber today, doing some house jobs here today. Adam, awesome. Well, thanks for listening along. It's great to have you here. Dusty Flats. Hey, all. A bit nippy this morning. Oh, whoa. Well, it didn't warm up for you, it seems. Minus 21. Oh, at 2 a.m. -1 now. Okay, so it is starting to warm up a little bit, I guess, from 2 a.m. though. That's pretty cool time at night. Awesome. Rob joining us from Rob's Allotment Gardening over in the UK. Good to see you, Rob. Great to have you here. Thank you. Hope you're doing well as well too. We've got Gothic Park here. Says love growing a greener world. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows back in the day. Been a big fan of Joe Lample for many years, and it's so really great that he's going to be joining up with us here on the show live this Monday, because we did get to have him as a guest a couple with the season before last with us, but it was a pre-recorded because he can't do the weekends. So this is an awesome thing about doing this new Green Room show on Monday night, is that we get to now invite some of those folks who couldn't join us on the weekends to come and join us live, so they can be here with the audience and answer questions and all of that sort of stuff too. So this will be our first chance, second time on the show, but first chance to hang out with Joe live on the show with all of you as well too. We got Kay's Garden Path. Kay, thanks for joining with us. It's awesome to see you here. Great to have you here. And let's see here. Gothic Park says we are in Central Arkansas. Thank you so much for joining with us in Arkansas. Let's see here. Mathidicus albriticus. I think I got it right this time. I don't know. That's quite a name. But thank you for being here. It's great to see you again. Muddy Puddles Farm joining us. Another viewer from the UK. Thank you, Muddy. It's great to see you here. Even if you're late, thanks for dropping in. Yeah. Kay's Garden Path says, up potting some seedlings today in the house while we wait out the freeze. Yeah, great thing to get done. And also from South Texas. Excellent. Great to see you here. Awesome. Got Texas Garden Guy coming up here just a little bit later on in the show as well too. I'm sure you might be familiar with him. And let's see here. Jonathan Park says we are getting hammered by this winter storm. And I hear it's probably going to get a little worse too. So let's see here. All right. Excellent, everybody. Thank you so much again for being here. It's just really, really awesome to have you here, joining with us here live for the show. And let's see here. Let's get this all together real quick. We're going to take our first quick little break here, and then we'll be right back with our first guest of the show.
Ivory Organic was founded on the gardening concept of whitewashing, simply lightening your plants to better tolerate weather extremes, transplant shock, and so much more. Such a valuable gardening practice that farmers have been doing it since BC times. However, in recent years, most research has been caring for plants and trees using latex and tar-based products which are designed to last 100 years, but fall off your plants within 1 to 2 years as your plants grow, contaminating your garden soil indefinitely. Available in colors white or more natural looking colors such as brown, green, gray, and grayish. Ivory Organic has 2 general categories of whitewash products. The 3-in-1 Plant Guard, which includes 7 natural oils including castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint, which offer insect and rodent repellent protection, and the whitewash oil-free formula. Both products also have diatomaceous earth in the base ingredients, which naturally offer some insect repellent protection too. As always, keep growing with Ivory Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening.
Hello gardeners, I'm Brandy, the Suburban Gardenista, and I'm here with your garden trivia for today. And your question is, what is winter sowing? And your options are A, starting seeds outdoors in the winter to encourage spring growth. B, starting seedlings indoors in the winter months. C, using a needle and thread to create plants that will never die. Or D, planting seeds outdoors in the winter that will grow in the snow. I'll be back a little bit later in the show with the answer.
All right, everybody. You all know the answer to Brandy's trivia question here for this week's garden trivia. Definitely drop into the chat. Let us know what you think. And Brandy will be back here in just a little bit on our next break to give you the answer to the trivia question. And again, thank you, Brandy, for being our new trivia contributor to the show this year. We had to say goodbye to Sarah last year, and it's really awesome to have Brandy with us this year from the Suburban Gardenista. Check a link down below to her channel for sure. And then check back here in just a little bit for the answer to her trivia question. All right, everybody. Real quick here before we get moving on, just want to let you know about what we had growing on just this last week on the show. I know I kind of touched on it just a little bit there already. We had our good friend Bevan Cohen. Bevan Cohen was on with us last Saturday for the show. If you missed out, you want to go back and check out that conversation. Bevan is from the Small House Farm and host of the Seeds and Weeds podcast. Bevan's a great friend. It was great to have him back. He helped us launch the show in 2025 and back again to help us start with our first episode last Saturday in 2026. Plus, we got to meet Corey from Green Bay Gardener. It was great to talk with Corey there, and really awesome is Corey, as I've mentioned before, Corey has like the Green Bay Packers stadium like right behind him. It's like right outside his kitchen window. So what a great backdrop to his place and his cool backyard garden and everything that he does his gardening videos and everything from. I thought that was a really, really cool feature that he had going on there. And then last Sunday though too was our third Sunday of the month. That means that it's our book of the month gardening book of the month club, if I can get that out right there. That's with my good friend Enoch, my good friend I can't get any of this out right, my good friend NBC Mark Michel Colbert with me as a co-hosts hosting the book club. We had a really great start to our book club this year. We had Sam Kaufman author of Survival Gardening, joining with us here on the show. Grow your own emergency food supply from seed to root cellar. Really, really great conversation with Sam there. But if you're going to go back and watch, there was a little bit of a technical issue. It took a few minutes for us to get everything locked in and locked right, but we did end up with a really awesome conversation with Sam. So you'll definitely want to go check out that conversation about some cool survival gardening skills and everything. And then we announced our next month's book club, and that's going to be Willie Galloway's Veggies for Breakfast. This is a really great one. 100 delicious plant rounded recipes. And these are going to be great, especially for me. I've got to get better at doing and putting more veggies into my breakfast and all that sort of stuff. So again, this is going to be a great way to kind of think about what and how you can use some of those things that you're growing out of your garden to get your day started for breakfast. So that's going to be a great book. Definitely come and join with us for that. And then of course the green room, we had our friends for Grow What You Eat, Robin Gardens, Shawnee Grows, and Sow and Tear with us. So that was a really great show. Go back and check those out, and definitely jump into the comments if you're checking out that replay as well too. So all right, everybody, it's time now for Are You Following Me?
Are you following me? Are you following me, dude?
All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and welcome our guests and return guests, actually, from Spoken Garden. Let's welcome Sean and Allison to the show again. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks, Enoch.
Hi. We're so glad to be back. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying. I was hoping to get you guys back at some point, and I'm so glad again, too, that really good way to launch off our good 2026 year ahead of us here. Get some good friends who've been on the show with us before to come back and help us get launched up. So awesome of you guys to come and join with us today. Real quick, though, as we're getting started here, let's go ahead for all of those folks that are out there that might not have met Sean and Allison from Spoken Garden before. Let's go ahead and give you a minute or two there. Have the floor. Let us know all about yourselves in Spoken Garden.
All right.
Go ahead, honey.
Well, Sean and Allison. So we're in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, and where we garden, and we've changed from zone 8B up to 9A, and we definitely noticed that difference over the years. But we started right before, what was it, about 2020? No, we started, but see, I'm like forgetting all the dates now.
We started Spoken Garden in 2018.
Yeah, it was 18.
Part-time,
right.
just as, a slight podcast, blog, and then we went full-time in 2020, right before COVID hit.
It was, right.
And we've just kind of just barreled on, and it's going good. We do videos, we do teaching videos, we do contract work. We also have a little seed sowing tool that we make ourselves that we sell. And so, yeah, we do a lot of other things too, but that's the gist of it right there.
Well, if I could add on to that, we just love teaching. We both have a teaching and a passion for teaching others. And I was an actual middle school teacher for almost 15 years. And Sean came out of Seattle School District. So we just came,
and I'm a horticulturist.
He's a horticulturist. And we're just, I don't know, we just had this just drive to just get out and just help people and teach people and just, hopefully, just inspire people. I don't know. We just felt this passion to do this.
Well, and that's why we came up with and started our YouTube videos, our YouTube channel, because right at the beginning of COVID, we're like, we want to get out and garden. We thought maybe we could help other people get motivated to go do the same thing, like a lot of other people started doing too.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so, that's where that started from.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So yeah, that's kind of us in a nutshell, I'm sure. Oh, we wrote a book too. It's over here.
Oh, yes.
But
exactly.
yeah,
we'll talk all about that as well too. But yeah, you guys got lots of things going on, and I like what you say there though too. And this was same for me, and I think it's also something, as I've talked to a lot of other creators who got themselves involved in the gardening community, is that we get out there and we start growing and we start learning and getting some things together, and it's that learning process. Oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it was, or these sort of things that we're starting to figure out and all of that. And it's like, well, wait a minute, maybe I could help someone else get past that, maybe, or figure something else. And I think that's just something that's natural within all of us gardeners, is this want, right? Once we get it figured out, we know the benefits now, right? We can talk all day about the multiple layers of benefits that gardening has for us in our lives. But once we figure that out, we got to let people know, right?
Well, we want to talk about it. It's
so
almost
fun.
like we can't
Mhm.
not talk about it, right?
I know. It's,
Yeah, exactly. It's just gardening just builds this amazing passion that somehow, and for, you know, again too, and I find it even for folks who aren't as good or want to, some people have just been pushed to going online and doing things even though they're not as comfortable with it or doing anything with it, because they have that passion and they want to share it with people. And it's just, you got to let it loose, you got to let it out there. It's just we can't bottle it up inside of us, can we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, exactly. So right on again too. So let's let's kind of get this started though too. Is this something that you guys started kind of together as something? Again, I know you mentioned, Sean, you've already kind of got maybe some horticultural background. Is that something you brought into it and you're like, hey, let's team up, let's do this, or you know, that sort of thing? Is that kind of how this all got going for you?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I wanted to start a podcast because I was working a job before and I wasn't using any of my schooling or any of my education. Like, I want to use this because, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So I started a quick podcast on my phone and started using, I don't know if anybody remembers this, Anchor. I started just getting on Anchor, which was
right. Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, you know, you just get on your phone, you start talking and it uploads and, you know,
exactly.
Yeah, it was really fun. So, so from there, it went into an actual podcast that I had, you know, I just started doing like on a weekly basis or whatever. And then Allison's like, well, I like to write and I want to do a blog. So let's, you know, so we started doing that.
Yeah. And that's why Spoken Garden, that's where the name came from. And you named that just because you were speaking about gardening.
Pretty much. Yeah. Very literal.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know, again, too, I also find that interesting too, because we all do have kind of some little background to how we got the names we chose and all that sort of stuff too. And
totally.
Yeah. And again, too, wanting to get out there, wanting to share with folks, but then, you know, like you said, you grabbed what you could, podcast, let's get out there. Let's start bringing some voice to this, you know, to this gardening thing out there. And again, too, what an appropriate name, Spoken Garden.
It works. Yeah.
Right on. So again, we haven't seen you guys. You guys were here like what, the season before last? I think it was a little bit. I know we tried to work something, I think this last season or something. We couldn't get our schedule right or something, I think is what it was. But it's really great to have you guys back. How was last year's growing season for you? I know we're in the middle of winter right now, looking forward to next year's, but how did last year go for you?
Ooh, we had some interesting fun challenges. The 2025 season was great. It was we had some hurdles kind of outside of gardening that right.
I did too.
You know, we all have our things, but you know,
we grew the most plants though we've ever grown. Ever. We just it was an epic year for growing new plants that we either started ourselves or we went bought or were sent to us by a couple different growers. And so we ran out of space like within like the first 5 minutes of gardening. And it was a challenge to just kind of keep up with all the watering and just any of the little bits of maintenance. We're pretty low maintenance anyway for all of our stuff. Definitely. But I mean, with this amount of plants, it was pretty tough to keep up the watering and just kind of on top of everything. But it was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of fun.
Really fun. I know. And it's like kind of, we keep running out of space every year. That's kind of our theme, but and then we just, you know, it was just kind of it's kind of a crazy year. So we're looking forward to starting kind of, I don't know, the new gardening season with just some new, I don't know, some different ideas of how to manage some of our spaces.
A little bit of new perspective after what you got and went through this last season, right? And again, that's what we got to do, right? We got to take our little lessons learned from each season and take those into the next season. And there will always be new lessons, and there'll be lessons from this year we'll take into next and all of that. But again, too, back to the idea of last year, I totally feel with you. I had the same sort of situation for me where, you know, again, I had a lot of things going on. So I had to make this decision kind of at the beginning of the year. It was like, okay, well, I'm going to plant stuff. I'm going to do some certain, maybe not as much as I would normally do, right? But I I'm not going to have the time. I knew it. I'm not going to have the time. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of stuff. We'll just it's going to be a fend for yourself kind of garden this year. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And I was just really surprised. It really turned out to be a really great garden. Ultimately, we got a lot of great stuff. I think, again, it was a very competitive as far as harvests and what I get out of my garden with one of my usual gardens. So I was really kind of surprised ultimately about the turnout when it came to that. But it's similar though too, just not enough time, all that sort of stuff, for all of the things I'm trying to grow out there.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah.
It is fun to just plan and think about the year coming up. It's exciting.
Yeah. And plus we're gardeners and we still always overwhelm ourselves no matter what.
Always.
Right? It doesn't matter. Again, it's another one of those traits that we have, is that we want to grow everything. Once you figure one thing out, now I want to grow everything.
Yep. Or
out of my zone. I don't care what it is. Let's
pop
it in there and see what happens.
Yeah. Pop it in the ground. Let's see how it does.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right on. So what would you say though was your best crop that you had last year? What was the best thing that you grew that came out of your garden?
Well, for your audience that we haven't met yet, we are not mainly, but we usually teach about ornamentals. So that's kind of
yep, that's right.
Yeah. So we work with a lot of plant companies that, we were able to grow a lot of really fun new plants coming out of the market. And this is kind of random because this isn't one we love perennials. We kind of love everything.
Yeah.
But I think, wouldn't you say like petunias, like of all plants, we had like,
I was going to say dahlias.
And dahlias.
Actually.
Which are one of my favorites.
Yeah, lots of dahlias. I think the best crop was the dahlias overall, but also, we had plenty of petunia flowers. The petunias were everywhere. We were able to just spread them out, and they did great. So.
It was fun. We used some of them as just like a cover crop almost,
Pretty
or like
much.
a ground cover, just to
a nice ground cover crop, a good shade one too as well. Yeah.
We had some that did really well actually in the shade, and they're not exactly ready for that. So
so that was kind of a
no, they are. They really do. I find as well too. I've had them too that work great in that sort of situation. But definitely, lots and lots of flowers. I'm excited too. I'm already starting to see some of them, like, because it warms up a little bit and all of a sudden they start poking their heads out. So these spring flowers that are getting ready to come up and all of that. But how many different varieties of dahlias do you think you have?
Oh wow.
Many. Probably at least 20.
At least 20?
At least 20. Yeah. It's we just started digging them up because it actually just started getting cold here. We've had an interesting warmer winter so far, but it's really starting to drop now in temperature. So we got them up out of the ground, but we haven't really counted to see how many actually made it through this last season. Some didn't make it when we were digging them up. Obviously, you find out really fast if they made it or not.
I know. That is fun to think about. I think if I could even add one more flower or plant in that we have a lot of are hydrangeas. We're big hydrangea lovers. We have them all over. We're growing every plant that we have is grown in either a container or some kind of raised bed or a fabric bag. So we have a few things we're starting to put in the ground, but we're borrowing some garden space. So it's been a really fun challenge to try to we have everything in containers. So we probably have close to 50 hydrangeas, I think we have now. Spread around the yard, different types. So that's been a really fun. They did wonderful last year too. Wow. So that was fun.
Gothic Park says here in the conversation, we are starting dahlias from seed.
Very fun.
Oh,
love.
Have you started seed from seed?
Allison did that.
I know. Yeah.
They're fun. I see. We're like huge bulb nerds. We've done a lot of teaching about bulbs. So for us to start something from seed and then produce the bulb later, that was super exciting for us. I mean, that was really cool.
So when we dug those up, we dug up the dahlias earlier this past week. Some of the ones we dug up were from seed that Allison sowed last year at this time, and we had. They produce the little bulbs underneath. They get into their cycle and they actually produce the little perennial bulb. And we dug those up. We were so happy to see that because we didn't know what to expect.
I know. And they were, a lot of them.
That was going to be my question was like growing from seed. I mean, is it going straight to a big, large, full bulb in one season? That kind of thing. Because I know, like, say garlic, right? We start garlic from seed. It takes a couple of years. You got to stage that up until you get that full bulb, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I know there are different types of things and all that sort of stuff, but I was just kind of where my mind goes with that.
Oh, totally.
Awesome.
Yeah. And these were a lot smaller. They were more globe shaped than that elongated kind of tuber shape.
Right.
But they
Okay.
still definitely had at least 2 to 5 little, what do I want to say, tubers coming off the main stem to give you that tuberous root. So we were really surprised, and they did so well, and they grew so much underneath the ground in one season.
Yeah, they
Wow.
grew very fast and very well. They were very prolific.
They were
Yeah.
they were only about
Pretty fun.
probably about that big around.
So they still would kind of have that then.
Would.
That kind of like maybe next year those things are gonna really.
Oh yeah, they're going to take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
We hope so.
okay.
We hope so. I know. And it's
Fingers crossed.
fun to
Exactly.
think. You can actually sometimes you can find a lot of different varieties of dahlias from seed that aren't available, in tuber form. So that's kind of fun to experiment with too.
Excellent. Right on, right on. Okay, so again, right back behind you there, you did mention you wrote a book. You guys got a book there. You want to talk a little bit about your book?
I'm blocking it. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, that was such a just wonderful project that that was in 21. We wrote it in 2020. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Mhm.
I mean, I forget. I feel like every year flies by. But we wrote this book for kind of a beginner, but also for people that are more intermediate or even just need a brush up. Maybe they haven't been gardening in a while, or had their skills used in a while. And so it's basically it's everything we teach about on our channel on YouTube. So it's a little bit of everything.
The way we wrote it too, and the way it's laid out is that if you're starting off like literally from scratch, you know almost nothing, or even if you know a little bit about gardening, it starts right at the base level to build the knowledge base, and then it just goes logically through. Okay, this much now. What about planning, and what goes into planning, and then what goes into planting, and a couple different kinds of planting. Seed. I think bulb.
Yeah, we did it all.
And then it moves into from the planting, what do you do next? And then the maintenance and deadheading and mulching. It just kind of logically moves through one full season if you're starting out, and what you can do and how to get started.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's fun to write. It was really fun.
Yeah. You guys thinking about another one at all?
Oh,
Part 2.
We always have. We haven't committed yet. It's more about kind of the time element for us. We
Maybe
did
more of a garden experience novel versus a garden.
That's a great idea. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind of a how-to type of thing and all of that. Yeah. There's so many different ways to do some really great gardening books and all of that sort of stuff as well too. What was the title of that again?
The First Time Gardener Growing Plants and Flowers.
Excellent. And Jay did put a link to spokengarden.com into the chat there for everybody.
Okay.
If you want to go find yourself a copy of that book, definitely go and support Sean and Allison and grab that there too, as well as I know you guys invented something as well too. This cool little what is it, like a little seed dibbler or something like that, right? Yeah. So let's talk about that again too. I know Jay's got a link for that as well too. She'll pop into the chat.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, this is what we call the little dibby, and we 3D print these. We came up with the design. It's got a graduated, I'll bring it up there. So it's got graduated rings for depth markings on one end, and then if you want to transplant the seedlings, you can use the widger end and just dig them out and transplant them, and put them where you need to. Yeah.
And we've got 2 sizes. That's the little one. Then we've got the Divi XL, so you can kind of see the difference in size.
Okay, yeah, for the bigger starts.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
It's
I like the
easier
bigger one.
if you have any like gripping issues or arthritis or whatever.
As well, yes.
Or dexterity. Yeah, the bigger one's a lot better.
And it's great for kids too. We've heard from a lot of people that it's a lot of fun. So we sell these on Etsy and on Amazon.
And this is again, I think Jay's got a link probably for it, I think, coming up, but also you can find it through spokengarden.com as well if you want to go through that way too. But yeah, that's really cool. I mean, what a great story. You know what I mean? I love the idea. Here you guys are getting together, you're doing this stuff, and you're out, tackling, teaching gardening to folks out there and all of that. You're writing books, you're inventing things and all that sort of stuff, man. I mean, what a way to live life, man. I'm telling you, you guys got it going on.
It's interesting.
We love it. I mean, it's been since we left our jobs. We've been so happy to be able to create together. That's been really amazing.
Yeah,
been a blessing for sure.
Yeah. What do you got planned for this year coming up?
What do we have coming up?
Out in the garden. Well, if I guess if we could say out in the garden, we want to do a little bit more vertical gardening, growing more vegetables. We've never kind of gone down that really deep dived into that, so we want to start doing that.
I know it's just it's been a space issue for a few years, so we're gonna we're excited to. We're
that's our specialty over here, space issues. So
we're learning from you guys.
Urban gardening, city space gardening, all that sort of stuff. Do some vertical, all of that, containers, everything. Awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do with that too, as well. Get into some veggies.
Oh yeah, lots of veggies. Yeah.
We're excited to do
but
that.
we need our flower teachers out there too, and teach us about perennials and all these other awesome, amazing plants that we can have in our, gardens and landscapes and all these sort of things as well too. But it's cool to see that you're dipping into some veggies.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Right on. Anything else as far as spoken garden or anything like that you guys got coming up?
I think just we're trying to refocus back on our YouTube channel, because we really just we kind of took a lot of, due to like time issues and whatnot, we took a lot of last year off. Right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get more consistent. We go live every Saturday morning like you, but we go 9 a.m. Pacific. So we're building that up again. It's been
excellent.
So that's been really great. And anything else?
There's the plan, but I don't know if we want to.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
we got something in the works as a tool to help people with like seed sowing, but we're still developing.
It's still in development. Yeah. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
I get that way too. I get itchy. I want to talk about it. I want to let this out. I want to put it out there. I want to, but no, you got to hold off sometimes.
Yeah. So, but we always got a lot of irons in the fire, probably just like you. Tons of ideas, not enough time to get them all out and start them. So
yeah, exactly. I got more ideas than I can ever accomplish, that's for sure. Right. But that's again too another fun part of not just gardening and growing, but getting out into the realm of communicating and doing your channel, spoken garden, and all of that sort of stuff. Is the idea of being able to do all of these other kind of cool things and stuff that are around it, and so not just the gardening, but also being able to do the teaching and showing and all of that sort of stuff as well, like you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. We enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
We hope it's helpful.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Well, I'm sure it definitely is. And again, there's always someone who's looking for some sort of help. And I always say myself too, is that even if it's just one person that figured it out and got a better garden and is growing and doing all that sort of stuff and is now extending that passion out, because maybe that one person is going to be the link to maybe thousands more or something. Maybe they're going to start a channel, or maybe they're going to do something, and then they're going to affect and influence and teach many more people's lives, right? The butterfly effect, right?
That's fun to think about.
That's a good way to look at it.
It is.
Yeah. So even if even if we get to touch one person, we're probably touching a lot more than that we don't realize.
That's fun.
Excellent. Got lots of folks in here saying they want to get a dibbler for sure. Hey. Definitely, folks. Go and check out Spoken Garden. Go grab one of those up there. And like I said, also check out that wonderful book, especially for those of you gardeners who are growing in zones similar to like the Pacific Northwest and those sort of things as well too, because that'll be very, very useful for you. Right on. Let's see here. Anything else that we want to get out there before we get going today? You want guys to let us know about anything else?
Well, just the only thing I can think of is just to your audience, just good luck on your upcoming growing season, have fun with it. Don't be afraid to try new things, but also like, we have a lot of beginners in our audience, and they panic when they either kill plants or they, whatever. It's just like, don't panic. Don't worry. Just keep going. It's not, sometimes it's the plant's fault. Maybe it didn't do well in your yard. It could, just don't get discouraged. Just keep going,
Yeah.
Like Allison said, try new things.
Yeah.
If you think something's not going to grow in your yard, try it anyway. Especially if it's by seed, give it a chance. You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's another great piece of advice. I'm glad you guys brought that up, because we don't want people distracted from gardening. I get a lot of new folks like, I just don't want to kill anything. I says, no, that should almost be your goal. You know what I mean? Because in the long run, you're not learning really anything or getting things down, especially in the plant world, when it comes down to that, unless, you're kind of stumbling through some stuff and figuring some things out. Nobody goes into all this stuff perfect.
No.
So all of us gardeners, even the most experienced, have a just a I guess I don't know if it's the right word, but we got like a trail of like dead plants
Oh yeah, everybody
left
feels
behind,
fine.
and we know it's a
a
part of
rite-
the
it's a-
experience, so don't
it's a rite
worry,
of passage.
nature's forgiving, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's a
Just
rite
try
of
again.
passage to kill
Yep.
plants in your garden. It happens to everybody.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right on. Let's see here. Oh, Jay was asking real quick here too, is maybe you can give us a little more background in the development of your own dibbler.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fun.
okay. Well, yeah. What really brought that idea to begin with?
Yeah,
how to,
thanks
Yeah,
for
that's a
asking.
great
I'm going to
question.
direct that. I mean,
Oh.
this was your invention. I just helped with the name.
That's right. She named,
I named it.
she got to
but-
name. Yeah,
which was
yeah,
fun.
which
is Allison just tagging along here?
no.
Just hang it out.
Oh no.
I'll help with colors.
Oh no. She keeps us
No,
organized.
she-
Yeah.
I use my
Oh,
teacher
right.
skills when I can.
Oh,
That's right.
With the Divi,
That's fun.
it basically just wanted to produce something that was useful to people to help them in their garden, especially with seed
Oh,
sowing,
yeah.
because we always had trouble getting the right depth. We could sometimes it's too shallow, sometimes it's too
Yep.
deep. And it depends on what you're sowing too, right? It's a big seed, it's
Yep.
a small seed. And so we were like, what could we do? What could we do? And then it just kind of popped in my head. It always happens when you're doing something else.
Yeah.
Completely not even gardening. You're washing the dishes or you're just working on something else. And it just pops in your head. And so it just popped in my head and like, oh yeah. So, I started, writing stuff down, got in some CAD software, goofing around and made it.
Well, and I want to add to that.
Yeah,
Also, it was it's a dual purpose tool, which we didn't see.
Yeah, that's what I was
anywhere
gonna
else.
say. Yeah,
Just being
'cause
able
you
to
mentioned before you were doing little like starts or seedlings, but it's also for seeds as well too.
Yeah,
as you
and
mentioned.
we've had a lot of people that have bought these have let us know they use it for transplanting cuttings, really loose, fluffy soil. These are not meant for hard soil. I mean, they will break.
Yeah. Or
it's
moving rocks. Don't move big rocks with these.
Or,
oh, right.
They'll snap.
That is not what this is meant for.
We've had
Nope.
people get back to and say, well, it broke because I was doing this. It's like, well, okay.
We have that in the notes.
Yeah.
Probably
But-
not
this,
best
this
to
is this is a little light work. This is
like for but people use it for succulents. I mean, and it's just it's two tools in one. So it's like you sow, you wait a few weeks till you transplant it, and everything's right here. So and it's bright. You can put it in your pocket. It's just kind of a fun.
Well, yeah, and so not only for seed sowing for this side, but for this side, if you got a small seed and you got a seed packet, you can use the little spatula part here, the little shovel to go in, grab the seed, and then we found out you just tap it, and they just kind of roll off into where you need them to go. You just kind of
That's a fun use too.
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
makes it a
uses.
lot easier because I mean, for me, I've kind of got it's hard for me sometimes to pinch the little seeds and
it is kind of like a point of your finger in a way, right? So like if you're working with seedlings, you can kind of work those roots around and do that like you couldn't do. And then like you're saying, if you're trying to pick up seeds, you know what I mean? You can use it to scoop. So it just will do a little bit more than what our fingers allow us to do.
oh, it does a lot more than my fingers will do.
Well,
That's right.
If you can see that the rings are associated with different depths, so that's right there. It comes right with you. I don't know how well you can see that.
Oh
But
yeah, perfect.
And
so
whether
we hope that's helpful.
well, and whether it's the little one or the big one, the depth rings are the same measurements.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's really, really awesome, man. Again, too, what a creative, inventive idea. I'm surprised. Again, I'm sure you were too. Like, I'm surprised someone else hasn't thought of this.
we were
Right?
Yeah.
we really were.
Like, how did this not get thought of already? But yeah, that's really cool. But let's see. Oh, Jay here. Like I said, everybody, this is great. I love it when you guys drop in questions. We got Jay dropping in some questions too, taking us back here, helping me out around here. Jay's asking, what was the process of writing your book anyways? I mean, I can't imagine. We do our book club here, every third Sunday and all of that. We've talked to several different authors and everything, and they always say it's the most daunting experience that they've ever taken on. Like it was the fun thought But after the process was over, they were kind of like, oh man, I don't know if I'll do that again.
I know. Well, it's like,
How do you feel about it?
well, first of all, it was a complete blur for us, really.
Yes.
And being able, we get this question a lot. Like, it was both of us writing the book. So we like divided it up into different chapters, and then we did a lot of editing together. We had a great, team at Cool Springs Press.
That's what made the difference.
I mean, without
that really made the difference because they kept us on track. We had benchmarks we had to hit, and they kept us going right along. I think that's really what got us through the whole process.
I know it was because we had, let's put it this way. We pulled together the first all-nighter either of us had ever pulled since grad school.
Yeah.
We were like down to the wire with due dates, and it was kind of insane.
that was a crazy
and
night.
I did all the photography for the book, and I broke the camera. We had to get a new camera midstream. Like, it was,
oh wow.
So it's just it was awesome and amazing, but it was also like a blur.
Yes.
Oh,
but
my.
I think I would do it again.
I would too.
With you.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, perfect.
We have a lot of ideas, but we haven't jumped into any of them yet because we haven't been ready to fully commit to that process yet. It is a process.
You do got to make that commitment. Yeah.
It's a commitment.
It
takes about a year and a half, probably maybe a little longer from start to finish. So yeah, you have to really devote your time. You have to be organized. I mean, so yeah, it was amazing. And we're so proud of it because it led us to a lot of speaking engagements, which we're actually going to take this year kind of off from speaking engagements. But it was a really fun process.
Yeah. I've kind of thought about it myself. I got a couple of ideas I want to work on. I want to do one of them. It's just kind of like been really on the top of my mind right now. I really want to be able to do that. But again, like you said, it is, it is a process, and you've got to be ready to be fully dedicated and ready to make those deadlines, right? And do those things, because this isn't just your idea anymore, really. This is a production now between editors and a book people and all this sort of stuff. So it's quite a venture to take on.
It really was. What made it real for us too is signing the contract to do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It makes it real fast when you're like signing on the dotted line and like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, I know. And again, too, I think if you're busy people and you're doing things already too, like for myself, that's one of the big hindrances. I've got so many, I'm in so many fires right now. I got so many things going on and all this sort of stuff happening and everything that, I'd have to shut most of that stuff down to kind of be able to dedicate and do that sort of to put into writing that sort of book. So it's a big decision to make.
Yeah, that's a big decision. It is definitely, but you'll know when it's the right time. If it comes to that, you'll know.
Yeah. And sometimes too, like if you're watching channels and all of that out there and you see some guys who are doing some things and all of a sudden you don't see them for a while and they stop putting out content for a while and all of that, it's likely they're writing a book or something. You just don't got time for all that other stuff you're doing and everything. So
some people, I guess, probably do, but wow, no.
Yeah. Right on. Well, again, Sean and Allison, it's really so wonderful to be able to hang out with you guys again and have you here on the show with us and all of that to start off our year again here in 2026. I have been mentioning though too, and I want with here at the top of the show and everything, we did start a new show on Monday night called The Green Room. And this is a little bit of a longer discussion for all of our folks who kind of join with us here on our Saturday show and our first segment and all of that. So hopefully we'll get you guys back here throughout the season coming up here for our Monday show for a nice, really good conversation and discussion about all sorts of stuff as well too, because it's great to have you around here and talk with us.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, thank you. It's really nice to be here again with you guys. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us back.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. I'm glad that we were able to finally find a spot to get you guys fit in and everything. And like I said, we'll find another spot coming down the road to have you back on with us here for our green room or something as well too.
Awesome.
But,
thank you.
Wonderful to hang out with you again. And we'll see you all really, really soon.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. our weekly garden journals. And our incredible featured visits.
We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. Do you know what winter sowing is? The correct answer is A, sowing seeds outdoors in the winter months to encourage spring growth. Some seeds need cold, moist stratification to grow, meaning that they need to experience the natural conditions of winter and spring before they will germinate or sprout. These are often native plants to colder regions like mine, like asters, goldenrods, and coneflowers. Without experiencing these natural conditions that Mother Nature had intended, they will remain dormant and will not sprout. Right now is a perfect time to do some planting outdoors, believe it or not, and do some winter sowing of native plants so that you can have some new plants in the springtime. Just be careful. You want to make sure you cover these plants to make sure that the critters don't think that you've left a tasty snack for them to indulge in. And that's your garden trivia for today. Thanks so much for playing. Enjoy the rest of the show and be sure to pop by and say hi at the Suburban Gardenista on YouTube and Instagram, and there'll be links for you down in the description below. Thanks again and happy gardening.
All right, everybody. Did you get the answer to Brandy's trivia question right? Right on. What is winter sowing? Excellent. Thanks again, Brandy, for bringing us our garden trivia this week. Go check out the Suburban Gardenista. Link down below in the description. Excellent. Right on, everybody. We got a great shows coming up for you. Like I said earlier, we're getting loaded up for just a wonderful 2026 year here on the Let's Get Growing show. We've got lots and lots coming up. I went through what we did last week. Well, this is what we got coming up this next week. In fact, we are continuing a really fun thing that we started last year on the Let's Get Growing show. This next Saturday, I want to make sure everybody knows we are going to do our first community show of 2026 here on the Let's Get Growing show. This is where you, the audience, are the guest. Yes, you, the audience, you are hanging out here. You get to be the guest here on Let's Get Growing show. This has been a fun new addition to our show over the last year, getting to hang out with all of you like one of those radio call-in shows. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna let you get on here with your video, though, mind you, and you're gonna get to come on here and hang out with Jay and I. As Jay's gonna this will be our new thing we're gonna do here as we move forward into 26 with the community shows. Jay's gonna join me as a co-host, and we're gonna hang out and talk with you guys together now in this new year. So that'll be our new thing we're going to do with the community show as we move forward. Instead of having Jay at the end of the show, Jay and I are going to conversate and talk with all of you guys for our community show. So this is a great idea for those of you who do have small channels out there and you want to get a shout out, or you want to come out, you want to promote what you got growing on and all of that. This is a great idea. Do you know some small channels out there right now that would like to get a shout out or like to jump on a show like this and be able to help promote their shows and all of that sort of stuff? So this is a great opportunity for those folks as well. So let them know, or you yourself come back and join with us next Saturday for our community show, and come and join with us and come hang out. And also on Sunday, we've got our friend back, Dr. Jeff. It's another appointment with Dr. Jeff. Gardening is Medicine next Sunday. Dr. Jeff will join with us to talk all about how blue zones, you know what I mean? We're going to talk blue zones and how gardening might be a big, huge part some of the blue zone things that we're seeing as far as longevity and all these sort of things like that. So we're going to touch on some of that sort of stuff next Sunday on our appointment with Dr. Jeff. And then again, too, like I said, we've got our new show on Monday nights, The Green Room, and we got this coming up. This is what's coming up next week for our Green Room. We're going to have Brandy, you just saw her on the garden trivia. She'll be joining with us for the conversation. The Suburban Gardenista is going to join with us along with Michael. Michael Overstreet from the Garden Nerd is also going to be joining with us as well too for our Green Room conversation next week. And also, I did mention earlier, Monday night this week, though, we do have Joe Lample joining with us from Joe Gardner. And tomorrow, don't forget, come and join with us. We're back here again tomorrow for the Sunday edition. We'll have a garden roundtable with our good friends Christopher Bransdahl and Kang Star. Christopher joining us from the snowy cold mountains of Norway, and Kang Star from the Pepper Lovers community joining us from the Lone Star State of Texas. And speaking of Texas, I think it's about time for us to get started with our feature guest.
You never know when you might learn something, and that's what this is about for me. These are people that I admire. Please welcome my next guest.
All right, everybody, let's welcome back our good friend Destin Noak from Texas Garden Guy, the Garden Party Podcast.
Hey.
All things gardening in Texas, the Lone Star State. Thanks, Destin, for being back with us here again as a featured guest. We got you all alone this time. We pulled you away from the group. We got you here. How's it going, Destin?
Oh man, you got me in my garage right now. We're getting ready for the cold snap to come through tonight. And my right here in front of my, we got the cold weather coming in, and we also have my house is getting renovated. So like half of my house is in my garage, and then half my garden is also in the garage, trying to keep everything safe. And so I'm just trying to get as much protected from this cold weather as possible right now. So
yeah, I hear it's really gonna hit you guys hard, huh? You guys are really looking forward to another one of those like 10-year storms, maybe.
I'm gonna look out a little bit, being in the Houston area. Dallas is gonna get hit a lot harder. I think it's kind of shifted a little bit north. We'll be in like the low 20s, but luckily we're not gonna get the precipitation like we did a couple years ago. So thank goodness. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Again, too, you don't really think of snowy, cold, and just blizzard conditions when you think of Texas, do you? But man, you guys, I'll tell you what, that's probably, I think, I'm the most surprised when I think of different weather changes we've been experiencing over these last 10 years and stuff, is starting to see the sort of effects that are happening in some of these more southern states. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I was having a conversation. I was in Mobile, Alabama 2 weeks ago for the Gulf States Horticultural Expo, and there was a lot of people talking about, just the weather patterns kind of shifting, and not being able to grow citrus as much in Florida, not being able to grow as many peaches in Georgia. They're having to go grow them further north because it's just getting either too cold or it's weird. The weather has become really strange, but
and that's
as gardeners and farmers, I think it's our job to be as flexible as possible. You got to be able to roll with the punches.
And again, too, and that's just year to year in any other type of situation, whether or not we're really changing, seeing some of these larger weather changing patterns like you guys are seeing there, too. But that is one of the stranger things about it, right? There was a real misconception when people started saying the word global warming all the time and all that sort of stuff. The correct term is climate change, meaning that it's going to just make things weird everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So things are just not going to be normal is what the real deal is when it comes down to it.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, and it's always changing, it's just like gardening, every year it's something different.
Yep.
You're going to deal with a rainy spring and then a dry spring. You're going to deal with one pest this year that you don't deal with the next year. Everything is so cyclical, and everything is just moving around and revolving, and it can make gardening and farming difficult, but it's also what makes it so challenging and so fulfilling when something goes right.
Yeah, Yeah, especially like, again, too, oh, maybe I got hit just a little bit early this last year, wasn't expecting that sort of thing. So you go into the next year just a little more prepared, right? And so then when you
Absolutely.
find that success and you beat it or you get past it or something, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yes. Yep. No, and it definitely, I mean, I think we all have to evolve and, grow, roll with the punches and grow with,
Hmm.
change with the climate. We got to be able to adapt and, grow in as many
Change is hard,
possible
right?
ways. Yeah.
Change is
Yeah.
hard. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
but that again too, I think that is, one of those big lessons nature's teaching us in a sense, is that, we have to be able to roll with changes, whether however they're happening, you
For
know.
sure.
Exactly, exactly. And no, there's not a group of people who are probably more well aware of all of this sort of stuff than gardeners, though, right?
Yes. I think it starts with us. I think it starts with us. Well, I think it starts with us, and it and they adapt into a larger scale, on how to do things. And so it goes back and forth. We take some stuff from the agricultural, and then they take some stuff from us, and it can be adapted to work some ways more efficiently than others. But I think definitely gardeners trying to grow their own food and things like that. We're picking up on stuff, especially locally, like regionally, like what works better here, what works
Yeah,
better in Dallas, what works, in Oregon, and everything works different places. I mean, something may work for me right here in my area. You can go a
yeah.
mile down the road where it's different soil types, and it's not going to work. So it's all about taking what works for you and making it work for you.
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I mean, our backyards or our garden spaces are our own individual microclimate, very different from even those right down the street from us in a sense too.
A
So,
100%.
but
How's the weather up there?
not too bad. I mean, not too bad. It's chilly for me. I don't like the cold at all, Destin.
Yeah. Well,
That's
you're in a weird part of the country if you don't like cold.
well, no, I'm actually in a decent spot as far as Oregon's concerned. You get any further north, and those folks are really going to be down in Southern Oregon where I'm at. We get a more milder winter, but when any cold bothers me.
And well,
Though we
and
do
this.
get intense summers. I mean, our summers can be as hot as your Texas summers for
Oh,
sure.
I believe it. Well, and y'all are in zone what, 8B? You said.
8B, yeah. But
Yeah,
we're
it's weird.
also inland in a valley and all that sort of
Hmm.
stuff as well too. So yeah, we
The
get
real question
that.
is, do y'all pump your own gas in Oregon? Do you pump your own gas?
Uh, um, well, we do now have the right to pump our own gas in Oregon. Yes.
That's so strange. It's so weird to
Hmm.
me that if people don't pump their own, like they don't have to pump their own gas. It's so weird.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
so strange.
Jersey. I think Jersey still does it as well too. New Jersey is
Well,
still
if you,
a gas pumping state. Alaska does it more as it's the traditional thing. So a
uh,
lot of like Alaska gas stations will have an attendant that'll come out and stuff, and that's just the traditional gas attendant type of a thing that goes on there. No laws, no things like that and stuff.
well,
But
if you've seen a video of someone driving off with a gas pump still attached to their car,
mhm.
it makes sense then. And it's like, yeah, well, we should definitely be having someone do this.
Oh, you know what? I'm not even kidding, Destin. For the first time in my life, I saw that happen right next to me at the gas station. I was sitting there getting my gas pumped, and the lady took off, and I heard this. It just is this weird. It was the weirdest sound, like this. And
Oh
pow!
gosh,
It just popped, and then
that's
you just
so
see this
crazy.
thing fly, and they're all built to do that though too. They're built to detach and shut off
Yes.
and do all that stuff if that happens and everything. But it was so funny just to see that thing go and stretch out and go ding, ding, and then
Yep.
it's just still stuck in the side of her car and stuff. And the lady was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe."
Yes.
She was
That's gonna be
so
so
relieved.
embarrassing. That's gonna be
Oh my
so
gosh,
embarrassing.
so embarrassed. She's like, "I thought," and this was again too. Now coming back to the whole idea, this was at a full service pump too.
Oh,
So
really?
so she thought the guy was done. She thought he'd taken it out and put it on there and everything, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, goodbye," and then takes off and whatever. And he wasn't done at all. I don't know how she really thought it was time to do that or anything, but
It'd be like one of those places where you go to the car wash for the first time and like they make you pull up and because like I've only ever like, driven through car washes, but the first time I went to one of the
oh
places
yeah, yeah,
was like, hey, stop here, put your car in neutral, take your hand off.
gets
Like
locked in.
yes, like it's probably the same experience as that the first time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It totally. It was, um, Yeah, so I've been wondering about. I'd heard about that, how they detach. I remember a conversation many years ago, but I'd never seen it. It was just so I was like, oh, I finally saw someone do that. And again, I think too. Again, this might be also you might see a lot of this more nowadays though too because of social media. Because you imagine
Oh
like
yeah.
she's thinking our gas is getting pumped, she's probably doing this and that and whatever, and then all of a sudden just I'm done. Let's go. That's your just mind's ready to move to the next thing because you're pulling yourself out of social media, right?
100%, 100%. I've been in the Chick-fil-A, drive-through, and I've been like, oh crap, there's two cars linked. I need to pull up. Like people are honking. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I can just imagine pulling out with a gas tank. That's it. That's so funny. That's so funny, man.
It is, yeah, that's amazing. That's great.
So has it
But
been
yeah,
a,
we
so,
do
so
get
it's,
to pump our own gas though here in Oregon now. They changed the law probably I think about 2 years ago, maybe about 2
wow.
years. I'd say about
So it's
2 years
recent.
ago. Yeah, that's again, so we have self-service pumps and full service pumps. So you can go and pump your own gas if you wish, or you can get self-service as you want to too. And a lot of it ultimately was the states, and same with Jersey and other places. And I think there was another state that did it for a while too and went back on it. But those states did that in a sense of bringing up their unemployment rates and stuff like that back in the day. So
it's interesting.
Yeah. So, still kind of nice, you pull up, nice one, pump your gas for you, toss them a buck or two, you know what I mean? And say, hey, thank you. They're not supposed to take tips, I'll tell you that, but give them to them anyways.
Right. But man, I can imagine like you don't have to get out of the car if it's cold or wet, and then your hand doesn't smell like gas, and so I guess it makes sense for sure. Sanitary wise, it definitely makes sense. Sanitation wise.
Yeah. Definitely. Although I guess in the point of this one that she pulled off of the thing and whatever too, I guess it doesn't necessarily work safety wise either. Is that being an example, right?
Right. Because that person's still on their phone watching TikTok too. So it's yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, right. Excellent.
But it's been a pretty decent winter for you though, and like pretty mild. Like y'all
so
been
far
pretty
so good. Yeah, I mean we're already winding into past mid-January now. Yeah, and we haven't even seen any snow. I mean, we did have like a week or so this last week or so where we saw some pretty good freezing temperatures and stuff. But yeah, it's really mild right now, I would say.
Besides like your house plants, like do you have much you had to bring in like for the cold weather? Like do you have much you have to bring inside the garage or anything like that?
Not much. I haven't played around with too many of those yet. I did restart my citrus. I got a couple of lemons that I did. So I do got those in my other room. So those are in there. I got some dragon fruit and some things like that I'm trying to keep alive through the wintertime and stuff like that. So there's a few things I've brought in, but I keep those all the way in another room over here away from everything else. They have to be segregated, having been outdoor plants and stuff like that. So but I got a few things. I'm kind of excited about the citrus though too, and being able to grow some lemon and doing that again, and seeing testing some others like some oranges and stuff as I can find some more colder tolerant varieties and things.
Right.
But I mean, still gets cold enough to where you probably should bring them in for a little while at least during this, the dead of winter, anyways.
I didn't realize how many citrus trees I had until I had to bring everything in the greenhouse. And then I was like, oh, I have like 10 citrus trees. Because like you just like, the first couple of years after you get them, like you're not going to get fruit out of them right off the bat, most of the time. And then I got like 3 more. So now I'm up to like probably 12 citrus. Because I found another variety of blood orange that I wanted. Because I had the Tarajo and now I've got the Moro. And then I found
I had a sanguinella.
Oh, nice.
I had a sanguinella. That was my first citrus I killed and was like, ah.
It was a blood orange?
Blood orange, yeah. I got it from another YouTuber I went to go visit in Sacramento. He bought me this blood orange. I was like, I hope I can keep it alive. I kept it alive, though, through that first winter. It really had a rough time the second winter, caught a bunch of whitefly and some things I was just not able to. That poor thing.
Yeah, another one that I found was I never really had many kumquats growing up, but I was at a nursery and the guy was just feeding me kumquats right off the tree, and man, it looked so good. And so I was snacking on kumquats, and I finally found the Maywa kumquat. It's a more of a because it's either a sweet or a sour variety of kumquat, and I already have the
Mm,
calamundans, and they're super
mm,
sour. And
yeah.
so I found the Maywah set kumquats this past week, and now is if you can keep them alive all winter long. Like going in December, January is the best time to buy citrus because all these nurseries are trying to get rid of them because
Yeah.
they don't want to overwinter them. And so if you can, like, I think I've been buying them like 40% off, 60% off
Oh yeah.
sometimes. So like,
Yeah, and they grow so well in containers. I mean, really. I mean,
yes.
citrus is the way to go if you're doing some container trees for sure.
Well, and I've been preaching about those rolling containers from Vigo, and
Mm.
they're really nice, except for when I tried to move one this past like a couple weeks ago, the wheel rusted off. And
Oh
so
no.
so I went to roll it and the whole thing kind of fell on its side.
Oh no.
I was able to catch it for like, capsized.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I guess I'll just repot
Is
this
it is
one.
it solid enough to maybe like reset your own new caster on it, or maybe you might have to like take the other casters off and set it on maybe a new roller or something?
Well, I put a brick under it to keep it level over winter, and
Mhm.
then I'm gonna be able to assess the damage after this freeze and everything is gone. But I think the actual like structure at the bottom is actually rusted out. And to be
Mm.
fair, it's one of the first Vigo containers that came out because I worked with them a long time ago, and it was one of the first ones. So maybe the newer ones are more rust proof. But
Yeah.
everything is made out of metal's got a shelf life on it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
plastic or metal, it's gonna, everything's gonna have a shelf life. So
Yeah,
um
yeah. Well, you just hope that wheels would have the stronger metal though. That's right. This is
yeah, well,
just something. Hopefully, they changed in the way they build them and put them together.
yeah, and I probably worded it wrong. The wheel was fine. It was what the hole in the wheel that like rusted in, like it's
Ooh.
and I was like,
Oh, I
oh
see.
no. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah.
but yeah, it's okay though. It's all right. It'll be okay. It's every year. Every year's got new challenges. Actually, I saw the. I just this is my grow rack behind me. Well,
Hmm.
I've been since I've been traveling a lot more for work. I've been doing a lot more cactus and succulents. So I've been starting a lot of cactus and succulents from seeds. But I was at a nursery yesterday and I found this pot, and it's just something I'd never seen before. And it's actually made out of rice hulls. Have you ever heard of that
Really?
before?
No,
Yeah.
I
So
haven't. A rice
it's
hull pot, huh?
yeah, it's biodegradable, and the company is called Ecoforms. This is not sponsored or anything. I paid like $8 for this. So I mean,
Right.
obviously, economically, like a large scale, would be kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. Like, it's like literally made out of rice hulls. At the bottom, you can even see like where they're kind of like, uh, not splintered, but almost like
Yeah.
a, uh, like a
Solid though, right?
yeah, it's pretty solid, but they say it would break down like over time. But
Hmm.
it's just I love when I find new stuff. I love finding new stuff to try out, and something like this
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Something.
biodegradable is
Yeah. Not
fantastic.
made with plastic. I mean, plastic's just. It's so hard to avoid as a gardener. It just really is. It's almost impossible, really,
Yeah,
ultimately. But gosh, it's good to try to limit it as much as you can, right?
or at least reuse. Like I know a lot of my friends because the price of pots has just gone up so much. I mean, uh, I kind of I'm a OCD, and so if I move to square pots, they've all got to be square. So I'm repotting everything is and like
I'm so like that. We're so
dude,
alike, Destin.
well,
I'm so
and
like,
with square pots, when you line them up on a table, you're not wasting like any square inch. They're all butt to butt. There's no gaps. And
mhm.
so, but like a pack of like 30 of these on Amazon is like almost 30 something bucks. Like you're paying like $1 to $2 a pot sometimes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so you gotta be like buying pots
Those
like
like
this.
4, 5, 6 inches.
I think they're 5.5 actually. 5.5, and
Okay.
these are root trimmer, which anything root trimmer are typically really reusable. I really like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
brand
yeah, yeah,
because these don't really break down. You want to find like UV resistant, and you want to find stuff that you can use like multiple times. Because I've had pots like I've sat them outside, they're empty, stacked on top of each other, and they start melting. Like they'll start just you know like literally like face melts. Like what was it? What was the movie where they Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they like opened the chest and it looked like that, like all the whole stack of trays just started to melt because of the Texas
Oh,
sun.
oh
And
my
so
gosh.
yeah, man. So like anytime you find like a good product that's not gonna melt, it's gonna hold up. I put these in the dishwasher
Yeah,
before.
right.
Um It's always because they're so expensive. You're such a big investment. You gotta try to get something you can reuse. And everybody
Yeah,
I
and
know
you
that
know what
has
I wish?
groceries
You know,
reuses
the one
stuff.
thing I would really would. I mean, I guess it works for some other regions and stuff like that. But I mean, I wish some of those people would quit making those pots black.
Well, so do you know do you know why they make them black?
Oh, okay. Let me know.
So plastic, for the most part, is pretty recyclable. Every time you recycle a container, um,
Hmm.
you can reuse it, but you have to add in like a little bit of extra plastic. But the thing about like clear plastic is clear plastic can be turned into clear plastic, but if it's been dyed or it's got any
Yeah.
kind of print, you can't reuse it for clear plastic.
Mm,
So the reason they make trash bags, they make grocery bags, they make black pots, is because it's mostly post consumer recycled plastic, um,
mm.
and they just dye it all black.
Oh, I see.
So because most recycled stuff is they either they're going to use it for clear stuff or they're going to be using it for
So the likelihood that you're getting these black pots or these and these sort of things is that you're already kind of in the cycle of recycling this plastic then,
yes.
because this is a reuse situation basically
Right. And I mean, in most
for
cases,
the
but
most
then,
part. For the most
but
part.
then, but then also, like people always think of like the black pots absorbing so much heat. Um, it's not always the case. They're oftentimes a lot more UV resistant, and sometimes they'll even reflect a lot of the heat as well. And so,
Yeah.
but I always tell people save your pots, reuse your pots, take
Hmm.
them back to the nurseries. A lot of times they'll take your pots back if you don't want to hold on to them.
Yeah.
Just like grocery bags, they're outlawing grocery bags in a lot of places now. I
Oh
think
yeah.
California went away with. Did California stop doing it? Like they're not doing grocery bags anymore.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily an outlaw. They did it here in Oregon. They didn't change anything. And the real thing was that what they did was, and it's so stupid. And they got to be better when they make these laws, and these states continue to do this. They got to look at some of the situations that happened here in Oregon. So they passed a law that everybody called banning plastic shopping bags. But all that really did for the grocery stores and the shopping centers is what they went to were these thicker plastic grocery bags that
That you
they
have to
now say
purchase.
well, that's part of the recycling thing. I mean, we have huge recycling programs and that sort of stuff here in Oregon. Our bottles and cans are worth 10 cents a piece in deposit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the idea with these grocery bags again too is that they were to be reused. Like you buy this to reuse it. It's not, this bag can be used. It's more durable, right? So it's thicker plastic, it's more durable. So now you can go and use that 10, 20, 30 times, you know what I mean, instead of just the once. But the problem is
Right.
it's just like any other bag or whatever. It's 10 cents, right? So or no, 5 cents. It's 5 cents for the bag, 10 cents for the cans. But 5 cents. So people don't think about the 5 cents. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get 4 or 5 bags, it's 25 cents. You don't think about it. And if you grab those plastic ones, they just get put in a big old stuffed bag of plastic, just like you used to do with the old plastic bags.
Yep.
And now it's just thicker plastic that's out there. So
Because
again,
nobody remembers to
that
take their
really
bags
bums me
back.
out. That's a big bummer for me. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I used to do it. Like if you can remember to bring your bag is always nice.
Mhm.
I like what Costco and them do, like with boxes.
Yeah.
Like that makes way more sense. Like just
Mhm.
do the cardboard boxes instead. Like instead of just throwing those
Yeah.
straight to the dumpster, do something like that.
Yep. And I'm not as big a fan of the so much use of the paper per se, because when it comes to trees and all that sort of stuff and logging and all those sort of stuff when it comes to that, but I prefer to get a paper bag anymore. And this is what I do. I get a paper bag, brown old school paper bag, and I load all that stuff up. If I don't bring my own bag, you know what I mean? This is when I forget too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'll get one of the paper bags, and then I take those home and I put them in my paper shredder, and it goes into a big bag, and then it goes into my worm bin down the road.
There you go. There
You
you
know
go.
what I mean? So,
Have you heard the saying, if you want more trees, buy more paper? Or if you want more trees, buy more wood, because
Right.
it incentivizes. Because when you think about it, like nowadays, unless there's a monetary value behind something, it's hard to get people into it and
Mhm.
consistently into it. Like,
Yeah.
they always say, like if you love trees, buy more paper. because then they're incentivized
It
to
sounds like something
plant more
Weyerhaeuser would
trees.
say.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds
yep.
like it comes from. It sounds like it comes from the paper lobby.
Yeah,
Weyerhaeuser.
yeah, probably, yeah. Well, and then you get into like some of these things. Like my wife, she made a wrap for Christmas presents
Mhm.
in this it's Christmas paper, wrapping paper, and you can't even rip it. You can't
Oh,
even
wow.
rip it. It's so weird. Like it must be like pure plastic. I'm like, Ashley, don't buy this
Oh, yeah, I
anymore.
did see
Like,
some of that stuff. It's kind of like a film more than a
yes,
paper,
it's like
right?
Mylar. It's like you can't even rip it. It's so
Yeah,
weird. I'm like,
that's
don't buy this anymore, Ashley.
yeah, I used to actually. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, home of Weyerhaeuser, all of that sort of stuff. You know, we know for sure, and I grew up with what it was like to watch what logging did to
Yeah.
our communities, our environment, and all that sort of stuff. I used to grow up taking. We go to this place to go camping up in Quinault, Washington, and I lived down in Grays Harbor, Aberdeen, Washington. So we would take this like bus, to go to do our summer camping up in Quinault,
Yeah.
and this bus would just take us through fields and fields and fields of clear cuts, just miles and
It's a bummer.
miles of clear cuts, right? So by the
Yeah.
time I got to be a teenager, I used to, and mind you, this is Weyerhaeuser, and they were, of course, they were under a lot of pressure, so they did the things politically to say, hey, well, we're going to go and plant in these clear
Mhm.
cuts, and so they get us in these groups, these Arbor Day Foundation groups and stuff, and Weyerhaeuser would do the funding to send us all out there, and we do tree planting in these clear cuts and stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, but still, again, those are the sort of things. So now you've built miles and miles of that stuff, and if you can now utilize that land as farms and preserve the rest of these old growth forests and stuff that we have, and make it some sort of like you know agreement, like, hey, let's
Yeah.
give us our old school forests, and you guys do your tree farming and all that stuff for paper and everything like that.
Well, I feel the same way with all this solar stuff. Like, I like the idea of solar,
Mhm.
but like I'll go see these. There used to be cattle farms or like rice farms, and it's
Right, yeah.
just acres and acres of solar panels.
Mhm.
And I don't. I mean, I don't know enough about it to know like how economical it is and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. But like, wouldn't it make sense to put it like on top of warehouses, like
Yeah,
these
yeah.
giant like why are they not covered with solar panels? Why is it taking up, space where, animals could live, trees could grow?
Mhm. Because
I
here's the situation with that, and I'll tell you what the problem here with that sort of stuff is, Destin, is that we push for these types of changes because we know that these are going to be needed, and then the industry starts seeing things, and then those folks and those corporations who are now out to make money start understanding, okay, well, we need to do this, and we can start doing that. Once they start seeing some level of profitability, they start going, okay, well, let's expand this out, and they start throwing it anywhere they feel, or any land that they might have, or connection, or is cheap, or that sort of stuff. And then that leaves all the rest of us similar to, like I said, this bag thing, which is really upsetting. It's like I was a proponent of getting rid of
Yeah.
plastic bags.
Yep.
But now look what you guys did with it, right? You've turned it around on us and made it worse. We're out trying to do something good. Same with solar, man. I agree completely wholeheartedly with you, Destin. I am a massively pro solar person. There
Yeah.
are
In
dead
theory, in
spaces. We
theory.
have dead spaces. We have concrete paradises, right? They tear down paradise to build a parking lot. Well, those parking lots can be used for solar. Rooftops of
Yes.
these big, massive warehouses and industrial zones in our cities can be used as solar. Look at what Germany did when they just said, hey, you know what? We're going to subsidize homeowners. And we do a little bit here in the States, but not at the level they did. But look what they did in their increase in their energy that they were able to provide for their country just by saying, hey, use your rooftops. And they had most of their whole population with rooftop solar, utilizing dead space to gain energy from. Right?
Yep.
I mean, come on,
No.
let's use our brains around this stuff. There's obvious solutions. And these corporations and these money makers, they get in the middle of our good solutions. And then they go, oh, no, but we can make more money doing it this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
It's just, it's terrible.
Well, and
Terrible.
but my dad growing up, like right when I was born, he was running a trash business, and then he
Mhm.
went to work for he was had a couple trash trucks, and he'd go out and pick up trash where the other counties wouldn't go. And so he ended up working for a recycling center. And he was talking to me how, back in the day it was save the trees, buy plastic, and
Hmm.
now it's gone. He said it's very cyclical the
Yeah.
way it goes, and it's funded, it's done this way to, capitalize economically, to
Mm.
keep you confused on like what is actually better, because
But
like what about glass? Glass is
yeah, yeah.
infinitely recyclable. Like
Yeah.
we're not using as much glass, like, but you couldn't stop making plastic tomorrow if you wanted. It's so crazy.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's so bizarre.
Yeah, and then again too, corporations see what the advantage is to the individual if they are able to have access and do that sort of stuff. So they're building all this stuff out to outpace us from being able to do certain things. And here another thing in the long run though too, you want to know what the biggest problem between those who are say environmentalists or those who look at environmentalists certain ways, it's those corporations in the middle.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? These people look
because
at
they're on
stuff
because
like
they're on
you're
both
talking
ends.
about, and you go, "Oh, look
Yeah,
at all these fields. We should have them in these parking lots over here." Well, you know what? All the environmentalists over here agree with you, but the problem is that the corporations make the whole adventure look stupid,
yeah,
and
yep,
then it makes it look idiotic. And then you go, "Oh yeah, look how dumb this is," and then everybody can just kind of go back and forth at each other over it while they're sitting in the middle of profiting.
yep. And what
It's just
nobody
ridiculous.
wants to talk about is how the precious metals are collected to make these solar
Mm,
panels. They're
mm,
shipped to China, and
yeah.
then they come on these big boats. Like they couldn't make these in the U.S. Like if they made solar panels like in the United
Well, the
States,
biggest
like
thing that
it'd
has
be
to be
so expensive.
yeah, and the biggest thing that has to be coming to grips for all folks who want to do things is that energy is necessary for one. How we get the energy has to be done smarter. And one of the things we have to also understand is that you cannot, in a growth type situation or energy producing type situation, do something that isn't going to cause some sort of issue.
Yep,
Right? I mean,
yep.
pumping oil out of the ground and then seeing what it does to the atmosphere and all that sort of stuff, as we've witnessed over the last 100+ years, to what we would take to do and transform to solar is going to cost us a lot in precious metals, mining, all these sort of things. So everything has a give and take to it. We just have to understand what are we willing to live with in that give
Yeah,
and take. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And what really ultimately is best for us in that, because we're not going to stop growing. That's never
No,
going to happen as far as
no.
as a population and a people and what we're doing out there and growing and stuff is going to have consequences.
Oh yeah, no. It's
Mhm.
it's bizarre, man. It's so
Yeah.
it's
And
exhausting to think. It's exhausting to think about sometimes. Like,
it
it
is,
is.
because we're just
Like
individuals. We're just
it
trying to do
is.
things, and that's what makes it so hard for everybody. When it's no matter what the larger world situation is, we are just individuals, and it just weighs on your shoulders more than anything else. Because you don't, I mean, one person can't handle the solutions and do them all themselves. And we want to. We have it. Maybe we think this is a great idea if you'd only do this. But
Yes.
it's just,
it,
yeah,
it's so funny we're talking about
it's
this because
hard.
I was literally having a conversation with my dad about the same topic the other day, and he was having a meeting with this company, and they're talking about ways to save money, and he's like, well, we can cut out the recycling program, and they're like, why? And he goes, well, we sort our plastic, paper, plastic, all this stuff, and he goes, and every Friday when the guy shows up to empty out the dumpster, the same truck that picks up the regular trash dumps
Hmm. Yep.
the recycling into the trash as
Yep.
well. It's like there's not a separate truck that's collecting it. Like they're separating it and it's
Yep.
going to the same place. Like I've
Yep.
heard so many stories like that.
And guess what happened
It's
with that
crazy.
situation too? Some big moneyed corporations got right up in the middle of all of that.
Yep. Yep.
What I mean? Because again, it's about profitability. There's not much profit in recycling and doing
Yep.
the processing and doing all that sort of stuff. So the
Sorting and yeah.
expenses of that sort of stuff, these organizations and these people just go, you know what? It's just not, it's not feasible, that sort of thing. And that's where we as people have to just say, you know what? Things cost things sometimes. Not
Yeah.
everything can be profitable,
Yeah.
right? When you use stuff at your home, right? And it's done and you fill it up in the trash, that's done. It's over
Yeah.
with. It's used. It's all that. It's got to go out now, and you got to pay for that
Mhm.
refuse to go somewhere, and you got to pay the place and do that sort of thing. There's a cost at some point to what you're using, and then as a population, we have to think there's a cost too. So if we want to recycle things, and if we want to do that, we have to know that that's an expense, not a profit.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not, it's just the people we're putting in charge, or the people who are making money, right? Those people coming together are not making the correct decisions that are best for us. Right.
Yeah, they're just best.
And you're
best for
absolutely
them.
right. I read an article here in Oregon too, the same thing. They're just taking our red top bins right here, and they're just throwing them in the same place with the rest of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, and also with the recycled materials, I was talking about that. You have to make sure that if you want to buy something like recycled materials, make sure it says post-consumer plastic, because my dad's company makes plastic out here, and
Mhm.
they will call, like, whenever they do a runoff, like if they change materials in an extruder, they'll take out the whole roll-off container to clean out the extruder. Well, all that mixed up plastic is what they call recycled plastic. It has to be called post-consumer recycled plastic to actually be something that was used and then sent to a facility, redone. If it's just recycled plastic, it can be just plastic that was on the ground in the plastic facility. Like your Coca-Cola bottles, and you can say 100% recycled. Is it post-consumer recycled? It's a big
Yeah.
difference. It's a big difference.
Yeah, it really is. But again, more and more of the world's problems sitting on our shoulders.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
like, I just don't know. I mean, again, it's so
I feel like
frustrating.
we can
sometimes.
solve it. We can solve it. We can do it. You know, we can do it.
Yeah,
man.
we can. Here's the thing, though, is that we just in general as people are smart enough to do it. It's just there's just too many other things that get in the way of us doing the right thing every single time. Where the world isn't as black and white, and people don't see it as much as that, as we see things through what we see through our media, right?
100%.
And
Well, and when you think you know, you might think you know something, and then something happens and it flips your entire opinion around, and like, oh, I know nothing. Like it happens to me all the time. Like, oh, I thought I knew that. I was like, I know nothing. Like, this is-
Yeah. I mean, it's so serious, and I that's one of the things that I always tell people is like, I get into conversations about this stuff, and sometimes I feel like, oh man, maybe I'm just talking too much about it or acting like too much of a know-it-all or something like that, and so I have to step in and say, man, I'm telling you right now, I don't know half of what I'm talking about.
I tell people that before I say anything.
I'm just not that smart. You know what I mean? I'm just
Before I
not that
say
smart.
Before I say anything, I heard like half of this on Joe Rogan. So like, so I always have to preface that first.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is, believe me, I'm just trying to work through all of this as everybody else is and stuff too. Is we just, I think we need to learn and get that figured out a little bit more so that we can do stuff. Because again, too, money and interest will stomp all over us. Will end, and as long as we just allow it to happen, we'll have to live with the world we get.
Yep. At some point, we'll just be they'll mail us a package of like pills. Like, this is your breakfast, this is your lunch. It'll just be like, you take a pill 3 times a day, and then it'll be like, oh no, you take it once a day, and here's your food. You don't have to worry about what it tastes like or anything like that. You're full. That's what it'll be.
Fashion. We want to worry about fashion.
Yeah.
Well, the government just tell us, what we wear and all that. They'll provide us little food packs and all that sort of stuff.
The government cheese, man.
Yeah,
the government
cheese. As long as we're showing up in their warehouses to do the work so that they can make all their profits, then you know what I mean? No problem.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I will say,
get in line, everybody. Get in the line you're supposed to be in too.
As someone who was in the military, like that was the biggest shift for me, having to think about what you would wear every day. Like that is the most, like I think even Steve Jobs and like Mark Zuckerberg talk about that. Like they wear the same thing every day. It's just one less thing you got to worry about. And so I've kind of adopted that. Like I have like 12 pairs of the same shorts that I wear every single day. I know exactly what kind of shirt I'm gonna wear every day.
Yeah.
I just gotta pick out which hat I'm gonna wear. Like
exactly. That's me too. I gotta fix it.
Yes, that's me. Like I wear.
It doesn't match my shirt
every single day. Yeah. Yep. My thing is like if it's a printed shirt, I gotta wear a solid hat. If it's a striped or a pattern, I wear a solid hat. That's the only decision I make. That's it.
Yeah. My bigger thing is I've lowered it down to just decisions and colors. I've tried to move away from like printed shirts or anything that has some sort of thing on it. So it's just, what color today? And that's it.
Yep.
What color am I
100%.
feeling today? And then just go after it from there.
Well,
Exactly.
well, and have you noticed that? Have you noticed if you guys you've gotten older, like you try to find ways to just make your life more efficient?
Oh yeah,
Like just like
constantly.
someone said minimalist. I'm definitely not a minimalist. Have you seen my plant collection? I'm not a
Me either.
I'm not a minimalist at all. But I am in certain aspects of my life. Like like
Yeah.
I minimize my choices. Like I feel like the more I was talking to someone who made bonsai soil a couple of
Mm,
years ago,
mm.
and I was like, "Hey, what if you made like this shade of like for like a desert color, or this shade for like more of a forest?" Or I think he's like, "No, no, no. We do one color." He goes, we used to, which we tried that one time. He goes, but the problem is you give people too many decisions and they
Yeah.
think too much. You just want them to, you just want them to buy this soil and that's the soil.
Yeah.
Keep it simple,
Take the
stupid.
thinking out of it, right?
Yes, like that is genius. And I've used that. I've used that in my life since that guy told me about that. I was like, that is genius. That is, you're right. Because I do
Mhm.
the same thing. I'll sit there and when I go get me like, if I'm looking for a new beer or something like that, I go like, oh, I go to HEB and there's
Mhm.
1,200 different varieties of beer. I'm like, well, which one has the coolest label? Which
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
made locally? If someone has said, here's your beer, I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. That's it. Like there was only one option, made my life a
Right.
lot easier.
I haven't drank in a while, but I used to be a big beer snob, so I don't know if that necessarily worked for me if I'd take anything anybody give me. I used to be known as the guy who showed up at the party with his own beer
Yes.
because
Yes.
I just didn't I was not going to be taking whatever was in the cooler.
It's a very Northwest thing to do, right?
It really
Making your own
is too.
beer.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. That's
All of our
awesome.
microbrews and everything.
Yes. No, well, I was stationed in Alaska when I was in the Air Force, and like everybody had their own microbrew in in their garage,
Mhm.
or their basement. Like,
Yep.
it's just what you do.
Yeah, yeah, and when I was in my early 20s too, what all of us were doing was brewing our own beers too, going through that
Yes.
venture and that fun as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always I'm always the one that's got to be different. If everybody at the party is drinking Bud Light, I gotta have Miller Light. I gotta make it complicated.
That's right, that's right. I was just a snob, that's all it was. I was just a total snob. I was like, "No, I'm only drinking the beer I like." I was like, "You guys got all that stuff in there? I'm cool."
Well, and I think your flavors change over time as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like
true.
I used to not like certain foods,
Mhm.
and I smoked for a long time. I'm 36 now. I haven't
Yeah.
smoked in like 6 years, but I
Awesome,
smoked throughout
dude.
my whole 20s,
Yeah, yeah. I was
and
a smoker
it
for a long time myself, yeah.
it
Smoker,
definitely
drinker, everything, yep.
and it definitely affects your taste buds. It definitely affects
Yes.
your taste buds.
Yes.
Um, my dad does Copenhagen. He's been doing Copenhagen forever, and
Mhm.
so he puts ketchup on like all this food. And I was like, you think that has something to do with like the Copenhagen, like your flavor
It sure
profile being all
does, I
jacked
bet.
up? And he's like, I never thought about it. I was like, it's got to have something to do with it.
Exactly.
There's no way it has no effect on
I
it.
guarantee it. I guarantee it. Oh, and man, Destin, wasn't it awful to and there was kind of it was in the back of our heads as smokers and stuff, but wasn't it awful that first realization when you passed another smoker and said, "Holy smoke, I smelt like that for
See,
all of those years?"
I still will walk by someone and I'm like,
Ugh.
oh, that smells good. I don't want it, but like,
No, 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 when they're smoking. The difference is when they're actually in the process of smoking, okay? Now, if you're
yes,
smoking in the smoke, right?
yes, it'll draw me in
As
like
a
like a pew pew
smoker,
pew. Like
I get that kinda
yes,
like, ooh.
the endorphins light up.
But the
It's like a memory
after
hole.
smoking, like, they just finished a
Yes,
cigarette, and it's, like, maybe 4 or 5 minutes later, and they're passing by you, and it's just coming off of their clothes and their body
yes,
and that stuff. That's awful. That's the one I'm
yes,
talking about. But, no, I
for
agree with
sure.
you. If you're standing near a few people are smoking,
It's like
sometimes I'll kinda walk by them and get a little closer a little bit, like, just,
it's like
"No, don't
it's like
mind me, don't mind
it's
me."
it's like if you smell something, it smells something like your grandma used to cook back in the day, and it's like a memory scent. Like
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, that smells like college. Like it's
It's exactly what it is.
throwing some
It's
Jägermeister,
awful,
and it smells
but,
just like
man,
college.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
But,
no,
yeah.
I had to get away from it. I was like,
Mhm.
I can't. My doctor was like, you can be fat and not smoke. You can be smoke. You can smoke and not fat, but you can't be fat and smoke. And so I was
Oh,
like, well,
man.
I'm gonna work on both of them, but there's one I can stop right now. If
Yeah,
that's when I
yeah,
did
yeah,
stop the
yeah.
cigarettes. So yeah, so I haven't smoked in like 6 years. So I don't miss it at all. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I do have an addictive personality, as you can
I
see.
do. I do.
I I
Yes.
do. I actually. Do you go through like
I
cycles, like of like plants you're into? Like, do you get into different plants every year, different species?
Yeah, kind of in different almost, cycles and plants, but I almost like relevate it to like almost kind of like I have cycles of like what part of my garden I'm kind of just more like into.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? In a sense, this year will be a little bit different than last year, like I really put some time into the back patio last year. So a lot of the stuff that we grow back there is a little different than some of the other areas, right? So I'm really kind of
Interesting.
into that sort of sense. This year or this winter, and winters for the most part, but like the last couple, I didn't do too much when it came to the indoor stuff.
Yeah.
But this year I've been going crazy over it. Like I'm like taking propagations, doing all sorts of stuff. I'm moving plants, and I'm just so there's these
Yeah.
phases I have with different parts of my gardens and the different types of plants and things that I'm dealing with and stuff too that I'm just that catch my attention just a little bit more. Or I'm just like really into like propagating got to me this year too. It's the best example I could give.
It's addictive. The propagations are addictive. I will end up like I've got different zones in my garden where they're like almost like memory, like time capsules of like,
Hmm.
oh, I got figs over here. This is from when I was in the figs like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I've got desert roses here, and I'm still into those for like, you kind of collect them all, and then you're kind of, like I become like a master of a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like every year I get into something. This past year, this past fall and going this spring, I've kind of gotten into yuccas. I've kind of gotten into some like aloes and things like that. Like I found some cool aloes that were aloes and agaves are really interesting. This one's like a geometric looking like I forget what we call them, like the leaves and everything. But definitely getting into some aloes. These are some that I picked up. People thought I was crazy buying plants right before freeze, but there's so many different varieties of aloes and things like that, and it's very cool how they pup like crazy. And so when you propagate, you're
Hmm.
getting infinite pups that you can just turn around and make your money back pretty quick. So it's kind of neat like that. But every year it's something different for me. I get into
Yeah.
something different. Like these are cactus seedlings. These are all cactus seedlings that I grew from seed, astrophytums.
Ooh.
Um, and so, like, you see this little guy. These are all seeds, all little
All
seedlings
like
from.
native Texas cactuses and stuff.
They are
You
native
getting into some
Texas.
natives and all of that then, huh?
I'm definitely getting these, and these are actually Peruvian cactuses, like the Peruvian apple cactuses. These are seedlings from that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
with me traveling, I can't be home every day. So I kind of had to move towards plants that can be kind of neglected a little bit more. And that's where I
Yeah.
kind of moved into cactuses and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's
Have you heard
constantly
of
evolving.
Joey Santori?
That name sounds real
The
familiar.
the crime pays but botany doesn't.
Yes, I have heard of him. Yes, I have.
Mhm. I'm not sure if he's in your. I know he's down in South Texas. That's where he is. He's
He's
down in South
very
Texas.
far south, but he comes.
Huge native plant advocate, all that sort of stuff.
He's a native plant something. I don't know if advocate. I don't think advocate's a strong enough word. I have
I have a plan to get him on my channel, but not on the show. I'm gonna get him on the
really
channel for. I'm
okay.
gonna try to get him on the channel for just an interview because I want to have it out with him. Because I think he's a great guy. I think he talks some good stuff about a lot of stuff, but I think he's also a little harsh on a lot of it, on a lot of other things. Where I'm kind of
Yes.
like, you know what? He gives gardeners a little hard of a time and stuff. So I want to get him I want to get him in a real garden
So I
area with real gardeners and let's have a real talk about the differences and what your native
yes.
advocacy means to and what we can do and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know, I just want to have it out with him and have a great conversation because I really do dig a lot of what he does. I like his approach, even though it's not what we do here at all
Super
on my
raw,
channel.
unscripted. Like I like his so
You
I've met
got
a
it.
lot.
You got to have the parental advisory on the discussion too. Because he's
Yes.
not good. The language is going to
Zero
be there and
filter.
stuff.
Zero
Zero
filter.
filter. Exactly the
Uh
right way to put it.
what so I know quite a few I know quite a few people that know him, and I
Mhm.
will from what everything I've heard, because I had some of the same criticism. Everybody do their own thing. Like I think he's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
people's attention, and
He's
he's cool.
flexible though. If you ever
Uh
listen to him, he's flexible.
he definitely turns it on.
Mhm.
From
He
what
turns it on.
I've heard, he
Turns it
definitely
on. Good
turns it
good way
on.
to put it too.
That he's not nearly as aggressive in person.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly.
like if you were to debate,
I've actually listened to a couple of his interviews on other places where he was on some other stuff too, and
Yeah.
he shows up. He shows up, and he's you know what I mean.
Yes.
That's why. So I wouldn't worry
And he's
necessarily too
smart
much.
too.
I
He's
just don't
really
want to
smart.
take. I just don't want to take a chance on the lack of filter on my show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
you
sort of
probably have
thing.
to
So
not
I'd
do
take
it
him into
live.
another space and have
Yeah.
a great conversation with him about it too.
Yeah,
though.
get the bleep button ready.
You show me those
Just-
things, and again, too, talking about that. One thing I always think is, he's a real genius, though, when it comes just to botany, though. I mean,
Yes.
the guy's knowledge of botany is just unprecedented. It's just
And
amazing.
everybody I talked to, because I haven't met Cactus Quest, but I kind of talked to him. I took some of their cactus people over in California. It's a big hub over there.
Yeah.
And a couple people over in Austin, they are like East Austin succulents. They said he's came by and he's really nice. And they say like, he's interested in other stuff too, but his main focus is native only. And it is a very I'll say
rigid.
Well, I was gonna say like
He's got a rigid viewpoint.
It's a very contagious personality of people
Yes.
that are into that kind of stuff, and they're a very loud vocal minority of those people who are a little aggressive on the native plant stuff. So like I'm down with native plants. I've definitely made the move to plant more native stuff, just because nowadays I don't have as much time as I used to, like to do all the up potting, and I'm still bringing in 2.5 greenhouses worth of plants. So like I get the native thing, and I always recommend people go native. I heard a great talk about landscaping, that your landscaping should be 60% native plants. And I was like, that's a pretty good range. If you can go between 40 and 60% native plants, and you can add that seasonal, like you can add like the evergreens.
That's the conversation I want to have with him.
Yeah,
is
but
that.
he's 100%.
He's 100%. I want to get him. I want to bring him down a little bit, knock him down a little bit. But
and
yeah.
I saw a video he posted recently of an install he had done, and I was like, it's like I don't know that I'd want that in my backyard. Like I mean,
and he's got
he
made his
nice,
popularity with his kill the lawns movement thing he did.
Yeah.
And I'm and I get folks who have that perspective and stuff like that. I always say, let the lawn people have their lawns, and if we can convince some folks to start some gardens, let's do that. Let's just not try to create a negative space in the natural world as we're trying to all learn to grow more. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the big thing I want to talk to them about, is the idea that we want to bring folks into this arena of gardening and growing, or natives and all this sort of stuff. We want to bring them into it. You know what I mean? And so if someone starts by growing tomatoes in their backyard to learn about native plants down the road, then that's a great road to get on, isn't it? And that's what I want to talk to them about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's definitely an evolution. If you start out with tomatoes and like that, I would say not everybody goes as crazy as me and you do, but like a lot of people do. A lot of people do get into it. A lot of people do get into evolving into other varieties of plants, like your natives, and they don't just, most people don't buy tomato plant and that's all they ever do. Like they usually do evolve and grow into other things as well.
Yeah. So, dude, where'd the time go? We didn't
even. Right?
That's unbelievable.
We barely talked about plants.
We barely talked about gardening. Oh my gosh. Time just flew by. This is the thing that I'm always surprised about. And I know you feel the same way when it comes to your show and everything too. It's like, what in the world, man? I got a whole bunch of I want to keep this. I can talk to you now for another 2 hours. Let's go.
I know, man. I know.
We don't got time. But again, Destin, thank you so much, dude, for at least jumping on too. Because as everybody knows on the show, we announced our other guest last week, and here we are this week, and it's a totally different face.
Who was it supposed to be?
It was supposed to be Nate from Garden Like a Viking. He had something come up. So,
nice. Well, at least I got a beard like him, right?
Exactly. I was like, I replaced the beard. It was perfect.
There you go. Yeah,
exactly.
and the garden party should be back in February. We kind of took a hiatus. We're trying to. I haven't taken a break off from that podcast, live streaming every Wednesday for like the past 3 years, and so it's you know how it is, like having to dedicate that a block of your time every single week is tough.
Yeah,
especially with like a position like I can do sales, since I'm traveling around, it's hard. And so we're trying to figure out what the next evolution in the garden party is right now. And we'll be back in February, and we'll definitely have you back on as well.
Yeah, definitely, and let me know too, because I want to get you guys back here as a group again too as well. So maybe we'll do something together when you guys get.
And are you going to surprise us with Josh again like you did last
I
time?
know, wasn't that great though? Did you come on? That was a good idea.
Hey, guess where he's at right now?
Where is he?
He's in freaking Costa Rica.
What?
Yeah, he's missing out, and he's in like South Carolina, so he would have got hit pretty hard with the storm. But he's in Costa Rica right now doing some kind of like plant retreat.
That's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's filming some good stuff.
He's always making content. So guarantee
that.
Yeah,
he's on it. He's on it. Right on, Destin, man. I'm gonna let you go though, but if you want to stick around, it's up to you. But so awesome to hang out with you, dude, every single time. I can't wait for it. Can't wait for the guard party to get started back up so we can get going with that again too. Have you guys all together again back here. Really looking forward to that. It's like I said, it's just always nice to, you know what I mean, have you guys around and be around and all that sort of stuff, you know, when it comes to our different shows and everything too. So thanks for taking part in what we're doing here.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for all the support. And a lot of your viewers come over and watch the garden party. So shout out to your audience as well. We're back in February, but yeah, I'm gonna get to moving some more planes in before it gets below freezing. But thanks for having me on. You know, appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, real quick here. One last, I was gonna put this on. I know that because it kind of goes with what we were saying there right here. And Big Will Dog was asking real quick about you planning to have our buddy Chad on the show soon.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely have him on. We had some scheduling conflicts on, but Chad will be back on. Has Chad been on with you yet?
Not yet. I'm hoping real soon.
Okay,
we're working on it.
Chad's great.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Thanks again, Destin. So awesome to have you here, and we look forward to seeing you around the next time.
Sounding good. Stay warm, guys.
Thank you. All right. Here we go again. Another awesome show. Fun conversation. Boy, that conversation kind of took a few weird turns though too. But it's great to get to hang out with Destin, and no matter what we end up getting to talk about when it comes down to it. But really great to have you all here with us. And again, go check out Destin and the Texas Garden Guy. Got links down below for you there, and go subscribe. And get ready to check out the new Garden Party podcasts when they come out here in February as well, too. So right on, real quick, we got to get moving here. Like I said, today we finished up. Well, that time sure passed by real quick for sure. So I'm just going to run down all this stuff real quick. Last Saturday, go check out Bevan. Small House Farm. He was on with us. Corey, Green Bay Gardener, or Are You Following Me? Last Saturday. It was an amazing show. Go check it out. Really awesome. We had our book club last Sunday, Sam Kaufman's Survival Gardening, Grow Your Own Emergency Food Supply. Really good conversation. Get past all the technical difficulties during that show. Go check it out. Really awesome. Next gardening book club, we've got Willie Galloway, Veggies for Breakfast for our February selection. And I think that's February 16th, I believe, for Veggies for Breakfast. So definitely check that conversation out when we got that one coming up. And as well too, definitely be sure to join with us next week for next Saturday's show. It is our community show. We're gonna have another community show where you, the audience, are the guest. So definitely come and join with us. Let others know about our community show as well too. I know you got some folks you can share this show with as well too. So let them know all about it. And then next, not tomorrow, but next Sunday on next weekend, this is next weekend, we have an appointment with Dr. Jeff Gardening is Medicine coming. And then our Monday green room, we've got the Suburban Gardenista and the Gardener joining Natalie and I for our new green room show. You don't want to miss out, but definitely come back again tomorrow. again, we're here tomorrow at same time, same place. We got our good friends Christopher Bransdahl from Norway and Kangstar from Texas joining with us for a conversation. We'll catch up with them, see what they got growing on. We'll see how Christopher's grow room is doing up there. He's got a whole new setup, whole new thing, and see if he's got some more live streams that he's going to be putting out for us real soon. And then the Monday show. This Monday night, we got Joe Lample joining Natalie and I for the Green Room. Joe from Joe Gardner and the Emmy Award-winning PBS series Growing a Greener World. Joe's live with us this Monday night. Don't miss out. Definitely come and join with us. And if you can, before you head out here, everybody, let's go ahead and click that like button. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bell notification to be notified. And again, like I said, share with all your friends. Let them know about all these amazing, awesome gardening conversations that we're having here on the Urban Gardener channel and the Let's Get Growing show, which is now your 3-day gardening weekend. Like I said, we're here on Monday night as well too now. So definitely come back with us every Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. And everybody, thank you so much for being here. And if you can, follow the links down below in the description. Let everybody and let everybody know, all of our guests know that you saw them here on the Let's Get Growing show. And last minute, before everybody heads out, I do want to let you know that our friend Diva in the Dirt is about to go live here in just 2 minutes. And she's going to have our good friend Muddy Puddles Farm live with her on her channel. I know there's some links and some people talking about it in the chat. So if you're here with us right now, let's go jump over there. Let's go say hi to Diva in the Dirt and go follow along with her conversation as well too. Thank you everybody for being here. It's so wonderful to see you. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for our Sunday edition of the show and our hangout with Christopher and Kang. I'll see all of you then.
The ugliest plant in the world, but I love it.